Hi guys, so we're on week 3, I think, which seems crazy because that means we only have 5 weeks of school left. But I found this week's reading fairly interesting, just because I've never really thought of writing, because I'm not good at it to start with, as like healthy things to do with self-care. I loved one of the articles as Easy's ABC when she said paper is always there to reread or rewrite, and you're in control, and you can burn it or never share it, or do share it with people, which I thought, it's like, oh, because your words, if you're saying them to people, you can never take back. But if you write something down and want to throw it away and never see it again, you do have the ability to do that. I had no clue that writing or journaling or doing poetry could improve sick days at work. I'm hardly really ever sick, knock on wood. But maybe if I did get sick, I should try to journal. And also, I love the stat that it reduces anxiety. And it's like, well, duh. Maybe when I am anxious the days before something is occurring big in my life, maybe I should just like write down everything I'm thinking, and that can like ease my anxiety. So maybe I should start a journal. I loved the part where they talked about just writing. You can have like a mind dump, which is actually what I did with my free write this week. I literally just took paper and wrote for over 10 minutes everything that's happened in the past week, things I've been upset about, things I've liked, things I've cried over, all these things. And it was probably horrific writing and probably a million run-on sentences because I do that all the time. But I love doing that because then it was out of my brain. I'm not sure deep journaling past that would have a huge impact on me because it takes such a long time in my brain to journal. But with that said, I have written letters to people when I've been upset or anxious or sad. Sometimes I've delivered them to the people, sometimes I haven't, but it's eased my angst. So maybe in times of stress or worry or sadness, that's when I should journal more and not every day or every week like some individuals do. With poetry, I hate poetry. A, because I never understand it, and B, I'm a horrible poetry writer. Reading the Mary Oliver excerpt and stuff, it's like a foreign language to me, so I really don't understand it. And reading the last article, finding the words to say, super hard for me to understand, but some aspects maybe I got it. But I really wasn't intrigued that much by it. Maybe I already had a bad attitude since I just don't like poetry, but I did really like the aspect about palliative care, and that was really intriguing and something I want to do more research on to see maybe if I'm in the hospital setting once I graduate or working with older individuals or anyone passing away, I could use that with them. I've never used free writing in my life for poetry except for letters I've written. The most writing I do is I take notes in church every Sunday or in my small group. I didn't even journal in junior high when it was the quote-unquote cool thing to do with our fancy journals that had locks and keys on them. And barriers, I think maybe I just have a mind block that A, I don't like writing, and B, it takes a lot of time, so why do I want to sit down during the day and write for 20, 30, 40 minutes or however long? And I just really haven't had the desire to utilize that as an aspect of self-care. I've always had other things to utilize for self-care. I did write a poem. It probably makes no sense. It literally was a bunch of words all rambled together, but in some aspect that is poetry from what I've read. I have zero creative bone in my body when it comes to poetry, so I don't really think it is that helpful for me, but I did find it humorous trying to write a poem about my life right now and what I was experiencing that day. A poem that's impacted me, and now that I say that, I don't have it with me. It's actually from my grandmother's book that she wrote for me as a little kid, and it always talks about growing up and how individuals should always be proud of you no matter what road of life you choose, and you should always honor individuals and honor God in your choices. And I could like cry over it because I always cry when I read it, which is probably good why I'm not reading it. But I do love her book, and she even has it's like this big, a book of poetry that is words of encouragement through poems that I try to read when I'm feeling really down in the dumps, and it always seems to help. For self-care this week, I've gone back to running again because I have a half marathon this coming Saturday. So yay, 13 miles, that's going to be fun. So I've already run over 2 hours this week, obviously. And then I did a paint night with my girlfriends, which took well over 2 hours, but was a lot of fun. And I actually set aside schoolwork and said, no, I'm going to do this in order to reconnect with those I care about and those that care for me. And the painting actually turned out way better. It was of flowers than I ever thought I could paint, but also someone gives you directions the whole time, so that's more helpful. But anyways, I will look to find that poetry book that is sitting at home on my desk and repost a video of that hopefully tonight or tomorrow. But anyways, hope everyone has a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.